In this episode, we will look at XRP. We're going to compare the two since there isn't a social media report that Bitcoin is outperforming XRP. And you know what? That isn't accurate. Take SpaceX, which we discovered in a video clip talking about their intentions to avoid the FX markets and move to a stablecoin. Yes, we will talk about the fact that we have a lot more going on. So without further ado, sit down and let's begin. Over the past day, Bitcoin has risen 2.08% to 190.97.3. Ethereum closed at 3,400, up 2.23%, while XRP is trading at a primary lane of $224, which is precisely in the middle of our resistance and support regions. USDT and USDC are both trading at 999 cents. I apologize, but it has risen 3.65% in the past day, making the total value of the cryptocurrency market $357 billion. You know how rapidly money can return to these markets and how quickly the market value of all cryptocurrencies may increase, even if we still have a long way to go before hitting $4 trillion. You can also disregard the current decline because the price of XRP isn't too horrible. What dip am I? Some would ask. And frequently agree with them. People, check out this dip. At today's exchange rate, one Bitcoin was worth 43,000 XRP in December 2014. You know what? One Bitcoin may be exchanged for 43,000 XRP. Would someone kindly point me in the right route regarding this poor performance? It doesn't. Hey, it seemed to me that XRP and Bitcoin are tightly tied, to be honest. It didn't matter after 2014, which is now 10 years ago. Isn't that interesting? We observe the narrative that is being disseminated on social media regarding XRP's poor performance against both Bitcoin and the whole market. That isn't the case, though, when you truly expand out and examine the larger picture at scale. Instead, people say things like, well, Bitcoin is worth 95,000 and XRP is only worth, $2.25 here. It's not the price that counts, but the amount of return you get. I frequently tell people this because a lot of people think that they would invest X dollars in the market, which is incredibly challenging since, for example, I can purchase $300 worth of this currency, but the same $500 only gets me 10 and I want more. The number of coins you own is merely a conceptual barrier and has no bearing whatsoever. The number of excess that coin will produce is what matters in this case. Assume, for example, that XRP is now priced at 50 cents and that Solana is worth $100. For 50 cents, or $50, you can buy a bag twice as big as XRP. We'll set aside that amount for basic mathematics. Here, XRP costs $50. SAL has a $100 value. The amount of XRP you receive will double. If XRP only reaches $1, you've only done a 2x. If Solana reaches $300, you've done a 3x. So what will yield a greater return for you? Keep in mind that in this instance, the number of tokens is not important. It's the quantity produced. This XRP chart is really simple. We talked about this video, which was the first one I managed to save. For your green support, we are currently sitting and bouncing between two support levels, 220 and 225. If we can achieve the breakout over 225, we will have a clear path, a clear indicator. And the all clear to move up to $2.35 XRP. This is your chop zone. There is a lot more red moving up since XRP is up against more opposition than any other company and the US. Court of Appeals has set a new deadline for the Ripple lawsuit. Please do not interpret this as an SECV's triple case. Rather, it is the Xenonoff case. Keep in mind that Xenonoff claimed to be people who purchased XRP because Ripple was pushing it, lost roughly $100 on it, and are now suing. 2 days from today, on Monday, December 23rd, we discussed the revised deadline for derivatives. According to what we've heard, Bitstamp and Robinhood will be shutting down in 2025. We'll wait for more direct or transparent sources to reveal that, of course, but it looks like Bitstamp is working on a derivatives exchange on the XRP ledger and that Robinhood will buy them in 2025. This is used, but we must remember what Kendra Hill stated. She argues it's important to realize that Ripple's real goal is to manage every transaction that takes place in the derivatives market. To prepare for the use case they have been working on since the beginning, they should think of cross-border payments as a good test ground. They haven't released this material for a number of reasons, but the primary one is that they aren't prepared and are lacking a component, which is Codius. Doesn't that seem fascinating? Max Avery reportedly told us 2 months ago that Stephen Thomas was developing a new version of Codius. We now know that Bitstamp will be acquired by Robinhood and that it is developing a derivatives exchange on the XRP ledger. Before we receive this information, we'll wait and see how everything turns out. Instead of sending the funds to the US, converting them to stablecoins, and then converting them back to USD, what would SpaceX do? Stablecoins are used by SpaceX to collect payments from Starlink clients. They don't want to take the chance or cope with transmitting wires when they want to make payouts in long-tail countries. Listen carefully. I am aware that there is no music playing. Let me come back. I'm using the incorrect source. Now listen. The essential point is that a lot of companies employ these stablecoins in unexpected ways. For example, SpaceX converts to stablecoin, sends it back to the US, and then converts it back to US dollars since they don't want to deal with sending wire transfers or taking on foreign exchange risk. When they aggregate payments from all of these long-tail countries, how do you believe they collect money from all of the Starlink customers? The first is that I think those rails need to be standard in the United States, because it's a very useful instrument. This will make it possible for us to gradually eliminate all of the dilapidated infrastructure that the banks use to make the tax procedure more difficult and slow, which shouldn't have been. This is really intriguing. Stablecoins for SpaceX, we are aware that Elon Musk is collaborating with President Trump when he takes over on January 20th and that he adores his digital assets. We are also aware that ZAR is a brand new cryptocurrency. Remember that Binance Square is the source of this content. Does this imply that it's an official source, given that I am aware that Binance Square residents are able to post articles? However, they discussed Elon Musk and Ripple's cooperation with SpaceX. XRP receives security, Ripple stablecoin launches, and the US gives its approval. They want to switch to stablecoin in order to eliminate the danger and deal with wire transfers. Again, what I'm saying is that I know this piece can be written. I would want to call attention to the fact that everything that was previously predicted is starting to align with the announcements or events that we are currently getting. This is a little crazy. So, how are things aligning? I mean, when you don't know where the money is coming from or how it operates, is it smart for SpaceX to utilize an unaudited stablecoin like Tether? Why would they not use a stablecoin that is available everywhere and that leverages the XRP ledger, which allows money to be transferred for pennies on the dollar in a matter of seconds? Why not incorporate it, since it appears to be the most logical move moving forward? Let's pay attention to what's going on. Let's check to see if SpaceX and its derivatives have any new developments. Information about this exciting era, which will start in 2025.